Okay, real quick. Hey, congrats to the Rangers. That's a big win. Appreciate it. It is always fun to talk after a win, and especially when we both win. It just kind of seems like everybody's a little bit happier. So that's always nice. I'll start off with Pawhuska. They had two kids that going into the game, their quarterback's a good player, but they have two kids that could play anywhere in our district, and that was really making me nervous. They have a really good OL, DL, and they have a skilled player that's probably not taking anything away from our kids or Chisholm or Perry, but he's probably the best skilled kid in the district. That's how good this kid is that plays at Pawhuska. He's a 10'9" guy, 6 foot, looks good. Plays well, plays under his pads, will hit you, can catch, can run. He's just good. So I was really nervous going into the week because they're just a team that hadn't really put it together yet, and I was just kind of thinking that would be our luck that they find it and put it together. But our kids responded well. I told you last week that I thought they would. I thought they were their type of kids that you all have seen them. They fight. They're pretty good as far as stepping up to an occasion and really, they've been in every game they played. Even the ones they've lost, we had chances to win those games. And so I didn't question that. I just questioned whether we were going to feel sorry for ourselves having been through some tough emotional losses. And we didn't. We came out swinging, played really physical, played really well up front. We had almost 400 yards rushing and 380-some yards on the ground. So that tells you what kind of game it was. I mean, it was a physical ground-and-pound game. I think we only attempted 9 passes. Craig, is that right?
Yeah, I don't think –
it was even that many? I had the stat before I came. It wasn't very many. We didn't have to. There's no reason to air it out if you don't have to. And I know Coach Walters probably – ready to punch me in the side of the gut when I'm saying that, but we're just not. That's not who we are. I mean, yet we have had games where we've attempted 32 passes and completed 19 of them, but they're all RPOs. So, and this week will be one of those where that might happen. We might throw it 32 times a game, and a lot of it will be RPO. But go back to the game, Pawhuska. We ended the first half with 2 crazy plays, and I don't know how much time we had, 30 seconds left or something. We throw a wheel to Davion, and he catches it, 20-yard line, 18-yard line, something like that. And instead of using my timeout, we hurried up on the ball and ran sprint out, draw back away, and score because they weren't ready for it. And it gets called off the clock with holding. Or called off the board with holding. So we had an untimed down, and we ran a screen. Is set up beautifully. I mean, if Mitch puts it on D, catches it, and walks in, and we don't, it doesn't happen. So we go in 26 to 7 at half instead of 34. And so I was upset about that. I thought that was a big missed opportunity for us. We come out second half, responded really well. They hit one big on us. Made it 40 to 14, I think it was at one point, the third quarter. I had all intentions of putting younger kids in at the end of the third, but I noticed when we subbed out on defense, I got on Coach Sklar. I said, get Austin off the field, get Davion off the field. I'm already thinking this week, and the first play we do, they leave the Graves kid in there, that number 2 I'm talking about. Leave him in there, throw him a swing pass, and he takes it 70. So I said, okay, get back out there. Here we go. Well, then I guess we'll go 1-0 again. And we did, went down and scored. And I think he finally understood where I was coming from. Like, hey, I'm not gonna throw my young kids to the wolves. You know what I mean? If I throw them out there, take your stud off the field and let the young kids play. That didn't happen immediately, but it did happen 10 minutes ago in the fourth. We let the young kids play. And our young kids scored 2 touchdowns. So another heads-up play by Davion. We were on punt return, and they had a bad punt. Their punter gets it, is trying to scramble out, punts it. It gets tipped, goes up in the air, and lands a yard short of the line of scrimmage. Well, that's the live ball. Everybody standing around walks away from the ball, and D's back there at 15 yards. He I see him. I'm without screaming, go get on the ball. he takes off, hoofs it up, takes it in the end zone, and scores. It's a live ball. He can make back line of scrimmage. So I was pretty excited about that as a heads-up play.
We had another blocked punt or whatever that Hayden got.
Hey, we did in the second quarter.
That was second half too.
Was it second half?
Yeah, I think it was second quarter.
I thought it was second. Maybe it was. Maybe it was second half. We had two big special teams plays. There was a partially blocked punt. It still made it 20 yards or so over in, and Hayden was actually a gunner, not a returner. And another heads-up play just went and met the ball on the right to him, and he, of course, when he catches it stride, there's not very many cats that catch him. So that was another big score. And it was just a fun game. I mean, I came in, someone made the comment, boy, that's a lot more fun, and it is a lot more fun. Trust me, to be on that side of it, and I told you I hope that the kids kind of unload some frustration, and I thought they did. I thought it went well. I thought it was a lot of fun on the road. In what was you have to win. You have to win to go on, and they did. So that brings us to this week. Tonkawa is very physical. They're as physical a team as we've played all year. They are size up front, bigger than any team we've played all year. Their right tackle is getting some looks. I mean, I think he could be better than he is, but he's still a good player. I mean, he's 6'5", over 3.
They have him listed as 6'7", 310 or something like that, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably a legit 6'5", 6'6" kid. I mean, you can't miss him. I'll tell you that. So, but he's really good. And then, honestly, probably even the better lineman of the two is he's 6'2", 270 kid that they have. That he's physical. He likes contact. So that's never good when you're playing those type of kids with that size. It's going to be a huge challenge for us. They're going to line up and run. They like to run trap, like to run counter, sweep. They don't throw it the best, but they throw it efficient enough for you to have to be aware. One thing that is in our favor, I will tell you, normally if Coach Walter or I are talking about officials, it's sometimes on the wrong end. Well, sometimes karma comes back, and it's going to help us out this week. Their middle linebacker, who's a senior from Tonkawa, got ejected against Hennessy for throwing a punch. And it was legit. I mean, he did. And officials saw it, threw him out. He's out the next 2 games. So he will not play against us. And he's a big part of that defense.
I think he's their leading tackler also.
Yes, he is, and for a reason. He's every bit a 6'1". Well, they list him 6'1", 200, 210.
Yeah.
And he's bigger than that. And he can play. So that's a big, big thing for us. I feel like it's going to change what they do defensively a little bit. It's got to, because they don't have that guy sitting in the middle. So it's a little scary. It might take us a quarter. Honestly, it might take us a quarter to figure out what their adjustment was, because we don't know. I mean, I've got every film on them, and at this point it's kind of a little bit like, well, I'm not sure that's what they're going to do, because they don't have a guy that's leading them in tackles sitting right there in the middle of the defense. So it's a little bit scary in that retrospect. Offensively, they are a good football team. I mean, they run the ball really well. Their quarterback makes them go. He's just a junior, wrestler type kid. He's kind of, I want to say, gangly. He's about 6 foot, maybe 175, 170, but you can't tackle him. I mean, just people struggle. Really good teams struggle tackling because he doesn't take shots. He knows how to work his body into ways to avoid a hit. And it's a big challenge for us because at times, same thing Coach Walter said, sometimes our kids are in the right place and we just don't tackle well. We're 10 times better than we were this time last year. I mean, you all can see that. We know that. We're playing physical. We'll come hit you. That's not the question. It is fundamentally sound. Can we tackle? And that makes me really nervous because that's what they do well. So they're going to be all fired up. One of their people got on Facebook and made a big post about we lost the Ingram kid and we got screwed, all that talk, and we're going to take it out on Alva. And after we beat Alva, we'll do that. I mean, they're fired up about it, kind of us against the world mentality, and that's fine. But, I think if we go in there and start the game off well and have some success, we can take a lot of that air out of them. Because when he got tossed at Hennessy, it deflated him. I mean, they were a different team.
Was it first half?
Second quarter. Yeah, right. A minute and a half left in the second quarter, right before halftime. They just didn't come out the same. So they'll have some adjustments to make, but they're still a good football team. They lost to Perry by 7, and if they don't lose that kid to Hennessy, it's a really tight ball game. Hennessy pulled away at the end.
Does he play offense?
Yes, and he is a big part of their offense too, Randy. He played tight end and H-back.
I think
And-
he's their leading, got 5 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah,
Leading
he is their go-to guy out of the backfield.
most touchdowns.
So it's a big loss for him, it's a great opportunity for us. I'm not saying we couldn't beat him with them in there. I think we could, but it's just an opportunity for us to go jump on them early and try to get them to feel uncomfortable about what they're doing because they don't have that guy on either side of the ball. So it's at Tonkawa. It's a really tough place to play. It's a tough place to play. They got tradition. They seem to always – sometimes they forget that they have tradition on the road, but when they're at home, they kind of remember that they have tradition. So it's a tough place to play. It's win. If we win, we're in. We're automatically in the playoffs if we win. So that's what we're looking at. That's granted that Chisholm could beat Tonkawa the next week. So, and we all believe that'll happen. So that's what's ahead of us. Got out of last week pretty healthy, honestly. Kennedy McKnight should be back this week, hopefully. And that'll help us out a lot. Anybody got any questions? All right, appreciate it.